a lot of it, and I've actually seen this talk about another podcast. But like the winner mentality, and I was right after this. Our next thing we were going to talk about was the documentary I watched called The Last Dance. It's about Michael Jordan and the '90s Bulls. People like Muhammad Ali, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they all have this thing. It's the winner mentality, and they're just able to empty the tank like that. They whenever they want, they can turn on the boosters and they win. They just win. They have the ability to will themselves to be able to win, and that's something that's very hard to do. Like I'm a huge LeBron James fan. I think LeBron James
Mhm.
is better than Jordan in a lot of different ways, but LeBron does not have the winner. The winning spark that these other guys did. He's very good,
He's got a more casual feel,
but he,
right, when
he
he
can he
plays.
can empty the tank. Like Jordan could empty the tank like this. Whenever the hell he wanted, he could just turn it on, drop 60 on you. LeBron can't empty the tank. He can't. He's done it before when he's been,
Mhm.
in these clutch moments, whatever. But on command, Muhammad Ali could empty the tank. There's another guy like they just, and a lot of people see it as, oh, they're just lucky. They never really seem to lose. They in shitty eras, whatever, of sports. But like at the end of the day, I think these people would have done well in any era because they have a mindset. And you really have to watch The Last Dance to know this. It's on ESPN. It's on I think
Mhm.
Netflix now. Really interesting documentary about everything the Bulls had to do. Scottie Pippen as being kind of like a side figure. They interviewed Michael Jordan throughout the whole thing. But you really see, and also there's another thing I want to talk about in a second. But the effects that has on them long term. You saw it with Muhammad Ali. He had Parkinson's in his late
Oh,
age. You see
terrible
it.
to
You
watch.
see it right now with Jordan. Jordan's eyes are like yellow. They're
Yeah,
bloodshot
yeah, I've
permanently.
noticed that. Why?
His
Why is
skin
that?
looks terrible. I think it's just the extreme stress he put himself under for 2 decades. Like
Pressure. Yeah, I mean,
and you see
he
it.
stays out of the public light like a lot. Like he's
He hardly
very,
ever goes in it. The
yeah.
last
I
time he
don't
did
see him a
a
lot.
thing was Kobe's funeral back in like February.
Just a few
That's
months ago.
another
Yeah.
thing. Um, like Kobe, another guy that could just empty the tank on command. Like it takes. I think it's genetics, but I think it's just a mindset that's like almost unbreakable. And I think these people are willing to like sacrifice basically everything they have physically to achieve that level of success. And you see it with Michael Jordan in that documentary, which is really interesting because he says like, look, I would make up scenarios in my head that would will me to win. Like he would make up that a coach talks shit to him before the game, and then he would go out there and drop
That's
40.
amazing. That's
So he,
amazing.
he would make up things
That's
in his head that would
psychology.
motivate him to go win. And not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people have that depth of mind to do
That
that kind of thing.
power.
And same
Nah.
thing with Ali. Like when all the Foreman fights, like when he went to jail, like he had this like never back down, like winner mentality. He could empty the tank whenever the hell he wanted to. Like
Mhm.
I think that's what makes these people really
I mean, you
interesting.
look at someone like Mike Tyson, who's apparently returning. I mean, he's posted some clips. I mean, he's still incredible. And again, will he be number one? Unlikely.
You
You've
won't even
said
be
this.
top 20.
I don't know. I don't know. We've had
I'll
this
have this
debate.
debate. You want to have this
I
debate?
don't know, but George Foreman won at 47. Again, I know that was a different era, a different time, but I don't know. I mean, he has regardless of whether maybe he's top 15, I don't know. Regardless of whether or not this happens, I think it is still very possible that he may surprise everybody. But just because of again the mindset thing, I think is pretty like again like you said like unbreakable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's really interesting. Like their mindsets, and when you like analyze them, like you can kind of relate to some of the things, but like, do you think it's genetics at a certain point? Like,
I
because
don't.
I really
Mm,
don't think anyone can do that. I don't. I think that like to have a mindset. I think it's maybe the way you're raised as a kid. Okay, and that's another interesting thing. All these like great athletes usually have like 8 or 9 brothers and sisters, and I think that helps to a certain degree of like having this like I need to get above all. Like I don't know. I just think
like competition maybe from an
competition
early
mindset
age or
from when they're
something.
young, and it teaches them that, and it grows inside of them for all these years until they get to the professional level.
Yeah,
So I think that's part of it.
I don't know. I mean, I think the biggest thing is, well, I don't know if it's genetics, but it's definitely a mental ability. Again, like some people can play music, some people can paint, some people can do certain things that other people can't do. I couldn't draw or paint something because in my head I literally just cannot. Like we've talked about this, I can't visualize anything. Like in my head, I can hear things, but I can't visualize a picture or an image or even a conversation. Those
Yeah, I
things
don't know
are
how that's
difficult.
possible.
I'm not.
Like
Again,
if
you said
I
you're better at that.
I'm not. It's not like I'm good at it, but I just thought most people could do that. Like if I close my eyes right now, I could vividly like just give me anything in the world. Like I could just instantly see it in the
It's blurry
darkness
to
of
me.
my
Like
eyes.
I could try to think of a person. Like if I close my eyes and tried to think of what you look like or what I look like, it's difficult. It's really difficult because I just can't picture it. So
But
some
I can
people.
picture it like instantly. I don't know how most people
No,
like
I mean I get
can't.
a vibe, but I can't look at it like I can't picture someone's characteristics or their voice a little bit, but I can't get someone's look or an action or behavior really in my head. But if you're able to get that and motivate yourself so extremely, I mean I'm sure pretty much anything's possible if you're able to get force
Yeah.
yourself into that. mindset. Again, maybe if there's, I mean, again, like a lot of like Buddhist monks will go into like freezing water and heat up their bodies. They'll actually like turn up their body temperature, thermogenesis, I think it's called.
Yeah.
They'll do all these things, which is incredible.
Dude.
Or karate, things like that.
Uh-huh.
Bruce Lee. I mean, you think of people like that.